Yeah, absolutely. I love that you threw that in there with the resume piece. What a great resource for folks. And the swimming upstream piece is vital. Back to you, Randy. That it doesn't hurt. Nobody's going to say no. I'm not allowed to talk to you, right? So it. The one thing that we can all agree on is that, and it's in a way it's kind of bred into us to be more worried about others than yourself, right? Be selfless. I mean, that's one of the traits, right? Selflessness. So you go through this whole process in the military, and you're doing it typically with making sure that the group is good, whatever group you're in, right? Whatever size that is, whether it's a squad, a platoon, whatever sort of a level you fall in, making sure that they're good, your team's good, whatever's good, you move forward, you get out, and you are a good Marine, soldier, airman, whatever, sailor, what are the space guardian, right? Coastie, trying to cover everybody. Um, so so you make it through all that, and then when you finally get ready to start the claims process, you realize you didn't document anything. And I think, to Randy's point, having those conversations is vital, for folks while they're still in, because they will get the advice that they need to ensure that they document what needs to be documented during their time in service. And quite frankly, it does not matter if you document it on year 2 or year 22 of service. It doesn't matter when, as long as it's in that window of opportunity. Now, I love that the aspect of working with recruiters, and I think that for a lot of folks, there's going to be organizations out there that operate kind of like a headhunter. I like to use Work for Warriors as an example. Work for Warriors is a great organization that's located in, I don't even know anymore, probably about 12 different states. And what they do is they act as the conduit between the company and the military individual or spouse. So it's good to even float stuff past them. Get engaged in the state in which you want to go. They have, again, it's their connections. It's not them specifically. It's who they're connected to. Dialing in your LinkedIn. And oh, by the way, LinkedIn has a free upgraded version for military veterans. So make sure you utilize that in your job search. I'm going to throw out one more question to you guys. And I'm trying to think about how to pose it, and I'm going to screw it up, and I'm just going to pose it just as a young Marine would, and just kind of throw it out there. Just kind of, here it is. What do you think is the biggest internal hangup for somebody filing a VA disability claim? So again, 70% are not, have never.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest hangup internally, Randy?
I think it's stigma. I think that, we as a veteran community and we as service members, we're trained to serve others first. That is our, we're diverse, where there's a bunch of different people, a bunch of different mindsets in the military, but one commonality is we serve, right? We tend not to think about ourselves. And so, there's almost a stigma that's associated with going to the VA and saying, hey, here's what happened. Here are the things that I need assistance with. And I want you to take a look at these bumps, bruises, illnesses, injuries, whatever, while I was on active duty, and provide me with some assistance. So I think it's just a stigma. We don't want to be recognized or seen as the people that are asking for help. But in reality, that help and that resource and those benefits are there by law. And, if we don't take advantage of them as a community, to Jason's point, there's a big 70% gap there. Resources provided by the government, be it state or federal, even local in some cases, tend to evaporate. So that's kind of my initial thought on that. The second thing I'll say is there's ways to get past some of this mental block, maybe stigma, mental block, however you want to put it. The overall theme of today's episode is the person that I wish I knew. And, before getting out, one of the things that you can do is to reach out to one of your veteran service organizations, and they will help you kind of get through some of these mental hurdles, some of this, stigma that you think you might face, and help find the benefits that you've earned. Now, there's a lot out there. There's the DAV, there's the American Legion, there's the VFW. I personally, have just kind of always gravitated to the VFW. Haven't done a ton with them, but the little bit I have interacted with them it's been awesome. Not all veteran service organizations are created the same. They all have slightly different missions. This isn't a plug for one specifically. I'm just relaying a personal experience, which is these folks tend to do a good mission. Matter of fact, I've got their website up. I will read you what their mission is, and you can kind of see how this helps you get over some of that stigma that helps folks from getting their benefits. So it says, to foster camaraderie among United States veterans of overseas conflicts, to serve our veterans, the military, and our communities, and to advocate on behalf of all veterans. So Jason's point is 70% not using. Why isn't this happening? Randy's answer, possibly some stigma. So when you tie all that together with the mission of the VFW, I think they're aligned nicely with getting rid of some of those blockers that are in the way. Chris Starling, you're next up to bat here with Jason's question, so I'll toss it over to you. That's my
in 1989, I was playing in a rugby game, and I remember I was in some loose plane, got smashed in the back, and I had a ruptured disc and a bulging disc, and I hid those. I didn't want to go to medical. I hid those for about 6 years, and then one time I was out running with my kids in a buggy, and I was going down a hill, and the pain got too much, and I had to go in. And finally, I got to Bethesda. I had an operation called laminectomy discectomy, and the doctor was like, "Hey, Joe Montana had this, Troy Aikman had this." I'm dating myself, dating quarterbacks back from the 90s time frame. But yeah, I got way better really fast. And the lesson there is, like, go do it early. Like, why are you dealing with the pain of all these things or not having the benefits you deserve? Get it done early. These resources are out there, and what you said, Randy, is exactly right. The government funds those things, and if they're not used, that's going to disappear from the state and then from the federal. And in cases where you've suffered an injury in the line of duty or those things, and they should be documented, and you should be able to go pretty quickly and get it set up. In my case, that injury, again, it was pick up rugby game with Navy guys. Should have never done that, but that was still in the line of duty, right? And I somehow didn't think it was, because it was sports or whatever. And again, I was a young lieutenant. I didn't understand it all, but get it done early and go to that VSO. That VSO is going to change your life.